everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini. You're one of my Gay Gamer video podcasts. As you can see, I have a new Animal Crossing t-shirt. A friend of mine sent me the link, and I was like, I have to buy this because it looks really cute. And it's well made, it's fine. Like, it's not official merchandise, but it's well made and it's a good shirt. And Animal Crossing got interesting because, of course, now it's June, and a new month brings new stuff to do. New fish and bugs to collect, and a new holiday. It's wedding month, and all month long you can go to Harvey's Island and do photo shoots with Reese and Cyrus, who want to recreate their wedding ceremony and their reception. And I had not really explored Harvey's Island before. I went way back in the beginning, because the problem is that they introduce it to you like really early in the game, and they're like, hey, you can set up photo shoots, and you can use, you know, amiibo cards to bring characters in that you can take photo shoots with, and you can use any of the clothes and furniture that you have collected to set up a scene and dress people and position them and do stuff. And I'm like, well, that would be a lot of fun if I actually had more than 5 pieces of furniture, you know. So I couldn't really do anything at the time. And I think they should have waited a while before they introduced Harvey's Island, because then I might have actually played with it more. But here, they give you some wedding stuff to work with, like, you know, benches and for the church and reception tables and some candles and flowers and things, so you can create a nice wedding. And then you can use anything that you've collected yourself to augment the scene. Like, my initial shot was just, I was just like, yeah, whatever, here's some benches, here's some flowers, and you're done. And she's like, oh, it's lovely, thank you so much. But then, like, I did a couple more. I did a reception one, and then I did another one where they wanted to redo the ceremony picture again, but this time they had some extra stuff and some extra flowers and some candles and whatever, and so I brought in some tables, and I changed them to be white, because that's her color scheme, is white and pink, and, you know, I alternated the flowers white and pink, and I added some statues, and created, like, a more interesting visual scene with me as the minister, wearing the best minister kind of costume I could find. But, like, what you get is, you get a piece of wedding furniture, and then you also get heart pieces for heart crystals that you can then trade from. Reese will give you these heart crystals, which you then give to Cyrus, and he will give you furniture to have. In addition to the free furniture, like, he'll give you a piece of furniture for free for doing the shoot, but then later you can exchange crystals and get even more, just to have more furniture. But it's like, that seems to be it. I don't know if maybe at the end of the month, Reese and Cyrus are like, hey, we're gonna open up a store on your island. Find us a place. Because that would be cool, because, you know, I miss retail. Because they also gave better prices than the Nooklings, but whatever. But I never really did much with the photos, and, like, I've only done it a few times. You have all month to do it, and I'm pretty sure that you don't need to do it every day to collect every single thing. I'm pretty sure that, like, after a few photo shoots, you're probably gonna just get the same stuff over and over again. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who've been doing it every single day to get every single thing. But I'm much more casual with my Animal Crossing playing, and, you know, for the same reason that I don't bother making sets on my island. Like, people have, like, coffee shops and restaurants and amusement parks, and they look really cool. But I asked my friend, and I was like, this amusement park is so cool. I'm like, did the animals actually go in here at all? And he's like, a couple of times they've, like, wandered through, but, like, they don't, like, do anything. They don't interact with any of the stuff that you put out, unless it's a chair, and then they might sit down. Like, it's like they're super lazy. Like, they're not gonna, like, actually do stuff. They're just gonna sit down on things. If you put a bench or a chair out, they'll sit on it. That's it. I have a playground, and they've only sat on the one thing that's an actual seat. Well, actually, no, there's a jungle gym, and you can actually sit on the jungle gym, and one time I saw somebody sitting on the jungle gym. But that's it. They just sit down. So like, I'm not going to waste my time building stuff that is just not going to get used and it's not interactive and just like whatever, who cares? So it's even worse with the photo shoot because you're doing the photo shoot and then you just set up this elaborate photo and you take your picture and then you're done, and then when you leave it's gone. It doesn't even stay. It's not even like on the island where you can at least say, well, I made a coffee shop and it gets to sit there and it's always there. You know, the photo that set just disappears. So I'm like, why am I going to waste so much time doing that? I have better things to do. But I'm going to keep doing it as the month goes on. I'm not doing it every day, like I said. I'm going to do it whenever the mood strikes me and I have time, I will do another photo shoot and see where it takes me. I've also been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I finished that. Assassin's Creed Origins, sorry. And still enjoying it. And I did actually look at a walkthrough, so I know that I'm like a good 3/4 of the way through it. I'm like, well, close to the end now. Because I got to the arena, where you have to get this guy to like hire you to work at the arena and like battle your way up to the bosses, which are these brothers that you need to defeat to finish the mission, or get to the end of the mission. And I was struggling because there's one bit where like you have to do it yourself and you don't have your partner anymore. And on my own, I would like got my ass kicked eventually, and I was like, oof. And I was like, are there tips or tricks that I'm missing? Is there something I should be doing that I'm not doing? And there wasn't. I just need to fight better and be better at the game. But like, I'm not crazy about like the straight fighting. Just like in previous episodes where I said that I didn't like the Assassin's Creed game when you couldn't fight. Origins and Odyssey are great because you can assassinate, but you can also fight. If you fuck up the assassination, you can fight your way out and you won't necessarily automatically die. Like in the earlier ones where if you fucked up the assassination, you were not a good hand-to-hand combatant and you had to like run away because you would get killed. So I don't like straight assassination, but I also don't like straight fighting. It's not appealing to me. I want to be able to mix and match to make it cool and fun and make it easier for me. Do it the way I want to do it. So that I looked at a walkthrough just to see, and I went to find this section with the arena, and then I was like, oh, there's not that much left. I mean, on the list of sections, so one of those sections might be massively long to play, I don't know. But it's still fun, and I wanted to mention that as you know, I love taking my virtual photographs, and I love when a game has a photo mode, and I love when it's a nice elaborate photo mode, not like an Animal Crossing where it's really basic. So in this game, this past week, I actually took, in the arena there was an area that was like dark, but there was like this stream of light that was shining through, and it was just the most beautiful lighting, and I took the most beautiful portrait of Bayek with this lighting, and it's like my favorite virtual photograph that I have ever taken in a video game. It's so beautiful. I don't know if I'll ever top it. It was that good. But I keep trying. But in addition to all of those two games that I'm continuing to play, I did actually pick up a brand new game. I actually, after checking with my husband first to ask if he would actually play this with me, because otherwise I didn't see the point, I bought Clubhouse games for the Nintendo Switch. And it's 51 games of like board games and card games and toy games and all kinds of stuff. There's 51 of them. And unfortunately I can't really give you, it just came out on Friday, so I've only been able to play it for a couple of days, so I can't really give you a full impressions. I can just give you like initial impressions. Because I've barely scratched the surface. I played a few games. The first thing that I tried, probably not the best idea, Hanafuda I tried, because that's what like Nintendo started with that card game back in the day. And it's kind of complicated, and I didn't understand. Like I looked at the tutorial intro, and I read the instructions, and I read the tips, and then when I actually when you go to play it, it starts you out against an easy AI, and it actually like kind of gives you some suggestions and hints, and it's like, oh, if I play this card, they're like, you can match it with this card, and I'm like, okay. And so I was kind of doing it and I was sort of getting it, but then I wasn't really understanding. I was just like, why is this happening? Like, I don't understand this part. Like, things were like automatically happening that I was just like, I don't know why that's happening, and I think I don't understand the rules as much as I think I do. And I had the same problem with President, which I totally thought I got the rules, but then as I was playing it, and I was playing it like I knew what I was doing, but the other three AI characters were just kicking my ass. So clearly, while I understood the basics of the rules, there are some strategies that I'm not getting, and they knew and they were able to implement. So even on easy, like, they wiped the floor with me. It was embarrassing. So the card games with complicated rules, I think, are going to take some getting used to and trying to learn how to play, and I'll either actually get good at them, or I'll just get frustrated and I'll never play that game again. But it's fine, because there's 51, so if I don't play a few card games because they're complicated, then it's fine. I don't have to worry about it. I got plenty of other games to play. I also played, some checkers. That was fine. I know how to play checkers. And on easy, it was very easy to beat my opponent, my AI opponent. And I also tried, the piano was pretty cute, although I liked it better when you turned the switch. Like, if you hold it upright, it's a piano, and if you tilt it like this and hold it like this, then it's like a keyboard, and it turns into a synthesizer, and then it makes cooler synthesizer sounds, which is a lot more fun. And I also played, since you had to take the switch out, I played the card games on the TV with the Pro Controller, but I played the piano. Obviously you have to take that out and play on this, and then that's how I decided to play checkers, and I played checkers on here and moved the pieces, on the touchscreen, which was fine. And then I tried bowling, which you can use the touchscreen to kind of like angle your thing and then go whoosh, and you swipe. The problem was that I think you need to swipe the entire width of the screen in order to get some oomph behind the ball, because I kept lifting my finger up, and it would lift it up too soon sometimes, and then it would just sort of... It did make it down the end. It didn't stop halfway down, but it took a long time to get to the end of the lane, and then would like barely topple one pin because it had no momentum. So I also tried it, put it on the TV, and played with Joy-Con, because you can take the Joy-Con and use the directional pad to move your ball and the thumbstick to kind of angle it, and then you hold down the trigger and you swoop, and it's like Wii bowling. But it's not as good as Wii bowling, because you still have to use the directional pad and the thumbstick to angle your shot, and then you're just using the motion controls to actually throw the ball, as opposed to Wii bowling, where you would move it with the, you'd move the ball with the directional pad, but then there was the camera you would angle your shot with your throw, so if you swung your arm sideways, your ball would go sideways. So this isn't as accurate as that, but it's as close as we're going to get to Wii bowling, because there is no camera on the Switch, but that was fun. And I have not tried, obviously I haven't played any local multiplayer with my husband, because we haven't had a chance to sit down and I make him play that with me. And I also haven't tried any of the online, either with friends or with strangers, because I know that you can basically be like, oh, I'm interested in playing one of these games, and then like other people who also would like to play one of those games would be like, oh, okay, he wants to play that, I'll play that, and you play that with them. So come back next episode, and I will have some more to say about additional games in Clubhouse Games, as well as I will try the online, and I'll have made my husband play at some point, so I'll have some more to talk about then. So come back next episode for some more impressions on Clubhouse Games, and whatever else I feel like talking about. See you then! Bye!